On the air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected with the Get Up and Go show. And now here's your host, Evan and Bonnie.
It's Monday.
Why exactly are we here?
Why are we here?
I never thought that you'd hear these terrible words from my lips, but we'll have to go to work.
Really?
Why?
There's a great deal of work to be done.
Oh, well, work is...
Four-letter word. I don't like my job. I don't think I'm going to go anymore.
Yeah. We've all heard that. This time, I mean it.
And there's another reason. Mondays suck.
Okay, it's showtime. It's showtime. Mondays don't suck. There's a considerable amount of work that has to be done, like getting enough toilet paper for everybody around the world. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of.
Well, we have toilet paper here.
I have so much toilet paper at home, I don't know what to do with it.
I have some at home. I went out to get the toiletries on Saturday, Evan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true. I went to, let's see, where did I go? Family Dollar. I went to Publix. And yeah, the whole aisle of toilet paper all wiped out. But I was able to get some, let's see, napkins, Scotty tissues from Publix. And
Okay.
they did limit me to 2, like the story that we had on Friday. They
Right.
do limit you to 2. But there were some supplies out there.
I'm not understanding this. Why the heck is there a rush on toilet paper? I don't understand. Am I missing something here?
Well, last night, Gary ordered $300 of goods worth on Amazon. He
Okay.
ordered some new clothes. There
Clothes.
was toilet paper involved in his order,
Okay.
and toilet paper was the only one where he wasn't allowed to make that purchase because they were out of it.
Amazon was out of toilet paper.
Yes. We tried to order some last night.
Okay.
And we have company coming too this weekend, so they have to bring their own toilet paper,
Okay.
and they're coming all
Wait a minute. Stop. Hold on. Stop the presses. Hold on. I want to make sure I'm understanding this. You have company coming into town this weekend, correct?
Yeah,
Okay. They're coming to visit you, correct?
correct.
Okay. They're staying at your house,
Mhm.
correct?
Yeah.
But you told your out-of-town guests they have to bring their own flipping toilet paper.
Yeah, because it's getting scary. I looked in my bathroom closet and there were only 3 rolls left.
Oh boy.
So I'm trying not to use the rolls that I already have. I have the Scotty tissues at least. And
Right?
I'm trying, and I did find some paper towels too.
Can I tell you a little secret?
Yeah.
Here, and this is feast or famine.
You want me to build an outhouse?
No. Every time you go to a fast food restaurant, okay, and I do this, I'm guilty of this. I've been doing it ever since I've been driving my car. And my dad taught me this. Every time I go to a fast food restaurant, I get about an inch worth of napkins, an inch worth of their napkins. And when I leave, I take them with me and I put them in my glove box of my car.
You do that? You're the one that does that?
Yes, because if I ever need to blow my nose or if I have to sneeze or something, I have those napkins in my glove box.
But don't you
and as
feel...
the supply gets low,
Yeah.
I'll go into a fast food restaurant. When I order something, I'll get about a stack that thick. See, it's about an inch.
That's a big stack of napkins.
And I'll take it out with me. I'll leave. I'll put them in my glove box. And my kids do that. I've taught my kids to do this.
Don't you feel like you're stealing
No.
that product from that business?
No.
And that they have to make more expenditures because of you? And why can't you carry a spool of paper towels in your car if you have to blow your nose?
Because
or a hanky?
I don't have a paper towel holder hanging in my car to put a spool of paper towels up.
Well, where do you throw the napkins when you're done?
When I'm done,
yeah.
I crumple them up. And when I stop somewhere, I put them in the garbage. I don't toss them out my window. I don't do that. I'm not a litter bug.
I don't like to steal product from
I'm not stealing
businesses.
though. I'm paying to go eat there. I'm getting a thick stack of napkins because I think that I might make a mess.
Good gosh, Evan.
Okay, now-
I even feel guilty when the kids at Taco Bell throw too many condiments into our bag. You know,
No.
all of the sauces.
No, and then when I'm done, I'm not going to put the napkins back because I've touched them and I've contaminated them. So instead of throwing them out, I just take them with me and put them to good use. So now I've built up a stack of napkins, and that's my resource should I ever run out of toilet paper.
Well, good for you. God bless you
See?
too.
See that? I'm using my noggin.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, any way you can stock up on the supplies now, I guess. Evan, hey, on a serious note,
Oh boy.
I just want to mention that officials in Martin County now gave an update on their coronavirus efforts on Saturday afternoon.
Okay.
And the good news is there are no confirmed cases of the virus in Martin
that's
County.
good. That's good.
And just want to let you know that
I saw Taryn on TV also. I watched her.
Taryn, yeah, she's
Taryn Krista.
very informative.
Okay.
But they developed a drive-through test. It's at the Cleveland Clinic, Martin North.
Okay.
And the tests are only for those experiencing the symptoms. And if you want, you can call 772-419-3360.
Okay. I thought you
before
were saving
getting
that
tested.
until we were doing the news.
Well, I just kind of wanted to get that out there because it's kind of important. I mean, if I was to come down, say, I'm nervous now that I'm going to come down with a cold or some sort of thing and the cold symptoms.
Don't be nervous.
And then
Don't be nervous because
if they have this drive-through testing for anybody getting the symptoms, and they want to find out.
Right.
They just kind of wanted to get that information out.
Right.
Because I would be feeling worried, if I suddenly started getting to what I would consider to be a cold.
Well, here's the situation. Everybody's panicking right now, and that's why they call it a pandemic.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's an epidemic and you panic, so they call it a pandemic. I think that's why they call it that.
That's a kind of
It's a good analogy.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, and in my humble opinion, I'm not panicking, but then again, I'm one of millions and millions of people that aren't panicking because it's nothing more in my humble. This is just my humble opinion. It's nothing more than just a flu bug, but a different strain of a flu bug that gives you a dry cough. It hits your lungs and you run a fever. Those are the three symptoms they're talking about.
Apparently, coronavirus has been around longer than we think, too.
Yeah.
I went to get my paper products, and the lady at the store, Barbara, showed me some cleaners. And on the back of these cleaners, it said to help to retain infections from these kind of things. And coronavirus is written right on the label.
Yeah.
So apparently it's been around for a while. It's just a new strain of it that's been out.
See this bottle of hand sanitizer? It's 1 ounce.
Yeah.
I've had this a week now in my pocket. I've been carrying it. Haven't emptied it out fully. I just take a little dab. They say a little dab will do you.
Yes.
And when I touch a surface that's not familiar to me, and I'm done and I leave, I do a little wash with my hands, and that's it. And I'm good.
Yeah, we're going to be sanitizing these microphones too today. And when you opened the microphone this morning, you mentioned Monday morning. I can only feel thankful that we can be here on this Monday morning and working.
Exactly.
And
a lot of people can't go to work.
I am feeling for some of the small businesses and the people that are out of work this week.
Right.
I don't. But if you want something to do, I know that Lion Country Safari is still open, and so is Rapids Water Park.
Yeah, there's a lot of places still open. Business as usual. Just keep your distance. Be careful. Don't panic. Don't have a cow or a moose or whatever they call it.
A rabbit.
Right? A dog, a cat. It's our job as broadcasters to bring you the news, but not to panic you. When we deliver the news, we're not going to put the fear inside of you, and we don't want to make you panic. We're just going to give you the news as we get it. We'll deliver it to you and be done, and then we'll entertain you like we do every morning. That's what we're here to do, is entertain you, put a smile on your face, and hopefully take some of that panic out of your day and make your day go a little smoother.
Yes, Evan. And it makes me wonder how many people are going to, just make themselves sick from all the stress they're put under with this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Love to get your thoughts on all of this corona virus that's going on. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Give us a call, 220-9788. We'd love to talk to you about it. We'd love to get your thoughts. We'd love to get your feelings. We'd love to know what you're doing, how you're preparing, what your lifestyle is going to be like, what you're going to do, what you're not going to do, how you're going to deal with it. If you have kids, how you're explaining it to your kids. We'd love to hear from you this morning. If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. We'll talk about where the sun rises and where the sun sets for all I care.
As far as we know, it still
As long as it
rises
goes
in
up,
the east and sets in the west.
as long as it goes up and then it goes down. It goes up over the water over that way and it goes down over the water on the other side.
Are your kids having fun this morning, sleeping in?
No, Gavin's up early. He's actually going to be here on Friday.
Oh, that's exciting.
With us, with the folks from Speak Life the Musical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
we're looking forward to that.
Yep. Hi, good morning. You're on the air. Who's this? Okay, well, we had a phone call. I guess they didn't want to talk.
I guess that's how they're feeling.
Yeah. Quick. It was like a crank call. It's like a tease. Somebody just teased me. I don't like being teased. If you're going to call, then don't hang up the phone.
I'm kind of feeling for the parents too. Some of the parents that already, like, they send their kids off to school and all of a sudden the students have 2 weeks off. I think they don't, in the area, they don't go back to school through March 27 now.
I like what they did. Let's try this again. Let's try round 2. Let's see who we have on the phone. Hi. All right. So see, somebody's playing games.
I know.
All right. Somebody's playing games and I have caller ID and I'm going to give your phone number out on the air. So this way people can call you and hang up on you. So if you do it again, I'm going to give your phone number out.
They don't have coronavirus. They're at home drinking Corona.
I know, right? I'm going to let it ring. See? They're playing.
I know. It's like Ding Dong Ditch.
I know. It's exactly. It's just like Ding Dong Ditch is what it is. Hi, good morning. You're on the air.
Hi, good morning. That was my cell phone. I just called you twice, and then it cuts out. I apologize.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I wanted to say, especially to Bonnie, I thought she was going to talk about having company this weekend, and my first reaction was, we're all supposed to be social distancing.
Right.
She's bringing people into her house. She may know them. She may think that they don't have the virus, but that's the thing. People could have it and you don't know it.
And people don't even know that they have it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically family that's coming into my house, so always welcome in our home.
I know they always are welcome, and I wish they could be, but...
What's your name, by the way?
Sheila.
Hi, Sheila. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
You're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
I am. We enjoy listening to your banter in the morning, and
we try to make it entertaining instead of so serious.
Yes, it certainly is. Yeah. And the thing with Cleveland Clinic, call the number. There's a nurse who will answer the phone. And if she'll listen to you. She'll ask you all kinds of questions. And if she thinks you should be tested, she gives you an appointment, so you just don't go and wait for hours online.
That's
so I have a question for you, because I find this quite humorous with Bonnie, as I'm sure you probably heard, and I would love to get your opinion on this. Let's say you're inviting your family in town, and there's a shortage of toilet paper. Yeah. Would you make your family bring their own toilet paper to your home?
I guess you'd have to, but the thing is, I'd step back one and say that we're going to have to cancel a visit because of the social distancing. You've kind of broken that for all of you.
Yeah.
And I don't think, and I'm older, and
Oh, you don't sound that old.
Yeah, I have had some, I've had cancer. I do have asthma. So I'm conscious of it.
Right.
More so. But I wouldn't, I don't think we can risk kind of.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Definitely. Yeah. Now, did you hear about what I do when I go to the fast food restaurants, what I was talking about?
Absolutely.
So what are your thoughts on that? I'd love to get your thoughts on that one.
Yeah, I don't usually go into fast food restaurants, but when I go into the line, And I always ask for napkins. You know, they themselves hand you a wad of napkins.
Right, exactly.
So I was saying to my husband, that's fine, whether you are outside on the line or inside taking them yourself.
Right.
You're still getting the same chunk.
Right.
Inch of napkins.
And you get that same chunk in the drive-through as well. They're going to give you an inch worth of napkins.
Yeah.
So why not take advantage? Take them home.
Yeah, well, I usually just throw them away, to be honest with you, but not anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's anybody out there stealing like toilet paper
don't say
rolls
stealing.
from the businesses, like in restaurants, like if they're using the restroom, if they're walking out with the toilet paper rolls or anything.
I don't think they could do that, Bonnie, because nowadays when you go into the restrooms, they have those gargantuous size rolls that are in these commercial dispensers.
They're locked in, yeah.
They're locked in. They're like the size of a pizza tray.
I know. Did you ever spend like a half hour just trying to get that little roll out because it's like locked in?
It's like, where's the instructions? What do I do?
Yeah. And if you're the first one to use it and they haven't pulled down the first piece yet.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story. That's an adventure.
You got to bring in your own scissors or tools or something so you can grab at it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for calling this morning. You made my morning. You really did.
Sheila, right?
Sheila, that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a song called "Oh Sheila."
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
right?
is.
Oh Sheila.
And who's the singer of that one?
Oh, it's
it would be Tommy Rowe.
No, not Tommy
no,
Rowe.
The same one who sang Sherry and
Frankie Valli.
Was it Frankie? I thought it was a group.
No.
Four Seasons?
No. Oh Sheila is it's a modern dance song, and she played Sheila E. did Oh Sheila. And she was with Prince. She was Prince's band. But that's a while ago.
Yeah, and I think Tommy Rowe did like an original one of Sheila from like
I'm thinking of that one too, Bonnie, back in the 60s.
62, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for calling. God bless you, and you have a great day.
And you have a great birthday tomorrow.
Oh, I will.
Yeah.
I will. You gonna bring me some birthday cake?
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, social distancing.
Yeah,
you can drop it at the door.
You have a great day.
All right, thanks a lot. News time right now. It is 6:23. All brought to you by Discovery Senior Living. And Bonnie's got the headlines from the news desk. Good morning, Bonnie.
Yes, good morning, Evan. And once again, officials in Martin County did give an update on their coronavirus efforts on Saturday. And according to authorities, there are no confirmed cases of the virus in Martin County. And officials say they're developing a drive-through test at the Cleveland Clinic, Martin North. The tests are only for those experiencing symptoms, and residents have to call 772-419-3360 before getting tested. The city of Fort Pierce is committed to protecting the health and well-being of their citizens and visitors. At this time, there are no confirmed cases of the coronavirus in Fort Pierce. However, as a preventative measure to reduce the transmission and spread of the coronavirus, large-scale special events and all performances at the Sunrise Theater and Black Box have been postponed or canceled through April 3. Also postponed is the Sandy Shoes Seafood and Brew. And canceled in the Fort Pierce area is a rundown St. Patrick's Day on 2nd Street, Friday Fest, Jazz on Moores Creek, the Downtown Farmers Market, Jazz Market, Wednesday Green Market, Dancing in the Streets, Jazz Week has been canceled, Restoring the Village Diabetes Walk, Manatee Center 5K, Waterside Blues, and the Fool's Day 5K. St. Lucie Public Schools Child Nutrition Services will be serving meals for students in the community from 11 to 1 Monday starting today through Friday now at the following schools. You can go to Chester A. Moore Elementary in Fort Pierce. Also the Northport K-8 Floresta Drive in Port St. Lucie. Treasure Coast High School, that's at Darwin Boulevard, Port St. Lucie. Child Nutrition Services managers from across the district will be staffing the open locations. Meals will be prepped, bagged, and brought to the bus loop area, which will allow for parents to drive through and pick up meals for their children. Meals will be provided to children in the car, 18 years of age and younger, and children must be present in the car to receive meal. Child Nutrition Services staff will be handing out the meals. Therefore, they're asking families to please remain in their cars while in the pickup line. And if you have additional questions questions, you can always reach the St. Lucie Public Schools. Go to child.nutrition.services at stlucieschools.org. Also, the Martin County too will have meals available 9:30 to noon, March 23 to March 27. Meals will be served to children ages 18 and under there. And in their locations in Martin County, you can go to J.D. Parker Elementary School, Port Salerno Elementary School, that's on Lionel Terrace, and Warfield Elementary School in Indiantown. And some sports action. Yes, the whole world of sports completely shut down. I don't know what the sports fans this weekend did, Evan. All weekend, watched some movies, I guess. But in latest, Christian Wood of the Detroit Pistons is the third NBA player to test positive for the coronavirus. In other NBA news, 19-year-old Pelicans rookie Zion Williamson says he'll pay the salaries of all employees at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans for the next 30 days. And Rudy Gobert of the Utah Jazz is kicking money for his team's employees, too. Big news from the NFL. Owners and players have agreed to a new collective bargaining agreement, which will run through at least 2030, and there will be some significant changes to that schedule. The biggest one is that the players have agreed to expand the regular season from 16 to 17 games as early as 2021. Although it might not happen until 2022. Technically, the players have just given the owners the option to do it, but it'll happen. The owners have been pushing hard for a longer season. Our news time is 6:28. Weather and traffic together coming up.
6:29 on the Get Up and Go show. It's time for traffic and weather together, brought to you by Code Red River. Bonnie?
Well, Evan, no traffic accidents to report throughout our Treasure Coast this morning. Yes, it's a good Monday to be heading out for that. There's your latest look at traffic. It is 65 in Stewart, 63 in Port St. Lucie, and here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, some patchy fog is possible during your morning commute, so please give yourself a little extra time. This afternoon, mostly to partly sunny with high temperatures in the low to mid 80s and a light breeze out of the east. Rain chances remain low with only a few showers possible.
Let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
If I told you there was more of our morning show coming right up, come on, what would you say?
This is I'm excited.
Yeah, are you excited that there's more of our morning show coming up, Bonnie?
I'm pretty excited. And who was that big woman's voice just a little while ago?
I don't know.
I loved her voice, by the way.
Who?
Loved it.
Which?
The lady
Where?
that just introduced us in
When?
such a big way.
I don't know. It's a lady in a box over here. I push a button.
Whoever that was, I liked your voice.
Well,
just want to say.
She's in this little box. Who? Like that guy said, I don't know who it is.
Evan, you're starting to make me feel boxed in over here.
Boxed in?
I don't want to feel boxed in this morning, and I'm thankful that I don't.
No, don't feel boxed. Why do you feel boxed in?
I don't.
Because the lady's in a box?
Yeah, you kept just bringing up the word, and I heard the word.
Yeah, she's in this little box right here.
Yeah.
This little square box. I press a button, and I don't know what happens.
Tiniest woman in the world.
Yeah.
Did you ever see her?
She's only 3 inches tall, and she's in this little box right here.
It reminds me of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory when that little boy was just cut down to a teeny teeny weeny minuscule size in that television.
All right. So I'm going to give you a choice this morning. Do you want to talk about viral videos or do you want to talk showbiz stuff? I'll let you pick this morning because we haven't touched on any.
Okay.
So you pick.
I think showbiz stuff is more practical. I think the showbiz stuff is a little bit more informative and entertaining.
Okay. Well, that's
just my opinion.
All right. Well, this is in showbiz news. There's one sport that's still standing. One sport. And
horse racing?
No, it's the Iditarod. Iditarod. Thank you. I'm glad you said that because I didn't. The Iditarod dog sled race in Alaska. They've made changes to keep the public from gathering around the race, and at least one competitor has voluntarily gone back home. So it's dog sledding is what it is.
Yeah, that would be, it sounds like the environment to be best for sports. Like you're out in the cold winter weather of Alaska, breathing in all of that freezing air. And I don't think that would be apt for very many viruses up that way.
Would you care to take a guess at how long the course is?
I think it's like 1,000 miles.
Oh, you're close. 975 miles.
Yeah. Those dogs are racing. I think horse racing went on too this weekend. If I'm not, a lot of people betting on the horse racing.
The dog race began last Sunday, and many racers reached the halfway point Thursday, and it's still mushing on through Alaska despite the coronavirus epidemic.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, dog racing.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I feel for those dogs, though. You know, I hope they don't run those dogs too hard.
No.
A lot of dogs are born to run in anyway. You know, it's they've got that wildness to them and they want to run.
Mm-hmm.
But I just hope they don't overdo it with the dogs because I care about the doggies.
Do you know who Orlando Bloom is?
Yes.
Okay, well,
I think he's married to Katy Perry.
Yes, and here's some news on Orlando Bloom. He was celibate for 6 months before he hooked up with Katy Perry in 2016. He says, quote, I was going to do 3 months, but I was really enjoying the way I was relating to women and to the feminine within myself. Wow.
Wow. Celibate for 6 months. Okay.
Yeah. So before he hooked up with Katy Perry in 2016, he was celibate for 6 months on purpose. Pro surfer Laird Hamilton suggested it to him, saying, quote, if you want to be serious about a relationship, go celibate for a few months and figure it out.
And then he felt like a virgin.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's by Madonna.
Yeah. I think he and Katy Perry, too, are expecting a little baby. I'm
are.
pretty sure she's pregnant.
They are. And in fact, I watched a little bit. I watched the beginning of American Idol last night.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I missed it.
It was good.
Was it the very first show?
I think it was. I'm not sure, but it was really good.
Ryan Seacrest hosting?
Yes, he's hosting, but it's the auditions is what it is.
Yeah. So I was going to say, so American Idol still went on, but those editions, they had that rolling long before this coronavirus came
the
out.
taping was way before that.
Right. So they have Katy Perry. Do they still have Lionel Richie?
Lionel Richie's there and Luke Bryan.
Oh, that's a pretty good panel of judges.
That's a trio, boy. Let me tell you.
It's just that Katy Perry, she kind of creeped me out that time when there was a boy on American Idol that I think he was like but 19.
Okay.
So Katy told him to come and, give her a kiss. And he said, no, I would rather save my kiss for that maybe like first lady I'm going to date.
Uh-huh.
She came off to me as creepy. Like she was like, come on, just a little peck on the cheek, just a little peck on the cheek.
That's not creepy. She just asked for a little peck on the cheek.
Well, he didn't want to. The fact is, Evan,
right.
he downright didn't want to,
Okay.
even though she was Katy Perry.
Okay.
And it seemed like she couldn't stand that he would not come up there and give her a kiss on the cheek.
Okay.
And it just, to me, it came off as sort of creepy-ish.
All right. I can relate to that,
Like,
though.
what if there was a male judge, saying that to a young female contestant? Oh, then it would roll the other way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. All right. I'm going to side with you on that one.
I'm just, I don't know. Based on that, I'm just not huge Katy Perry fan. There, I said it.
Okay. All right. So
It's on my shoulder.
you don't have to roar no more. Okay, because it's not going to be like a firework.
Roar. That's a song by her too.
Right, and so is firework.
Firework. Yeah, it is.
You notice how I put that all in one sentence.
Boy,
You're not going to roar no more because there won't be any fireworks.
Got explosive in here this morning,
It
didn't
did.
it?
Bang. Okay. I
All
wish I had my fireworks sound effects, but I don't.
Fireworks isn't until the 4th of July.
That's okay. That's all right. I can find fireworks sound effects somewhere real quick.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about box office. The box office was decimated by this coronavirus that's going on this weekend. Pixar's Onward took the top spot. It was only $10.5 million.
Woo.
Only.
Yeah. Oh, that didn't do so well.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But that's a child's movie we would want to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe says that Harry Potter made him an alcoholic because he'd feel uncomfortable in social settings with normal people, and he'd drink more to ignore how much they're watching him.
Oh, really? Oh, Daniel Radcliffe. Yeah, I think I've heard him in news, saying not too long ago that he had a problem a little bit with his alcoholism.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that Harry Potter ride that's at Universal. That's the best ride.
That's pretty cool.
That I've ever been on, Evan.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The ACMs announced yesterday that next month's show postponed. They're moving it to sometime in September as they try to coordinate all the moving parts. In a statement, they said the health and safety of our artists, fans, industry, staff, and partners is our number one priority. We look forward to identifying a future date, time, and venue that we can celebrate with our country community safely.
Reba McEntire usually hosts the
Yes.
ACM.
Yes.
Yeah, I would. And now it's postponed. Usually we see it, we can view it in late March or April.
Exactly.
Now we're not going to be able to view it probably till May or June coming up. Huh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. A lot
Well,
of things.
that's that on Showbiz. In the meantime, let's talk a little bit about some viral videos.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Wonderful.
A teacher named Amanda Lorenzo has gone viral with her demonstration on the importance of soap.
This is an important one now.
Okay. She put ground pepper in a bowl of water and told her students the pepper represented a virus. Okay. Then she had a student dip her finger into it. The pepper didn't move, although some of it stuck to the girl's finger. So she had the girl dip her finger into some soap.
That makes sense.
Okay. Then she had the girl dip her soapy finger back into the original pepper water. And when she did, the pepper spread out
The
to the
pepper
opposite sides of the dish.
Moved away from it.
And her finger had no more virus on it.
I love that. That's a great experiment. Who is this teacher? I think she is
Amanda Lorenzo.
pure genius.
Yeah, Amanda Lorenzo.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I'm looking at the pepper spread out over that water. I almost thought it was like a bowl of pepper soup or something.
Yep.
Like soup that you could eat.
Now, this is pretty funny. An Italian man in Italy went all out on the social distancing concept. Okay.
Listen, Sheila, listen up on the social.
Okay. Here we go. Sheila, listen up if you're listening.
Her ears are perking up.
You're going to listen. You're going to like this one, Sheila. I think your husband might do this. He went shopping at a market wearing a disc around his body that was a little over 6 feet in circumference. So what he did was he found a big piece of cardboard, cut a hole in the middle, and that was a 6-foot barrier to keep people away from him. The disc was so big, he had to use a portable grabber to pick up his items.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. How's that one?
Yeah. I remember
that's an oversized pizza tray.
I know. I remember when we were up on stage and we had to dress we had to make space alien costumes, with boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
Now in this day and age, you might start seeing that for real.
Unbelievable. Here's a coronavirus spin on one of those job charts parents use to get kids to do their chores. A mom made a chart where her kids get points for each chore, and then they have to turn in the points for things like toilet paper. In the video, the mom asks her daughter to choose 2 jobs, and then she counts out 6 individual sheets.
Just 6 sheets
of toilet paper as payment.
That's cheap. How cheap?
She also hid all the toilet paper before revealing her plan, and it seems like it's a joke, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, in this day and age, you shouldn't be joking around with the toilet paper.
All right,
it's hard to come by.
Finally, here's your coronavirus jerk of the day. It's a guy in a surgical mask on a subway in Belgium, and he pulls the mask down to lick his fingers, and then he rubs his wet fingers along the subway railing as if he's spreading his virus.
That just made me nauseous.
Now, even as a prank, it's still gross and disgusting, if not dangerous.
It is.
Wow.
I mean, there you could like get a fine for carrying on some nonsense like that now.
That is stupidity at its best.
That's just like the one that was in the news. Was it a girl or a boy that had been in a supermarket and thought it would be funny to take a lick of ice cream?
Oh, yeah. That person
got
she went to jail, or
yeah.
he or she went to jail.
You don't want to be tampering with food or anything like that.
No, not at all. 6:45 right now. It's time for news once again. All brought to you by Alfa Romeo Stuart, where the rich heritage of Italian motoring is now within reach. During the spring acceleration event at the all-new Alfa Romeo Stuart, get a 2020 Alfa Romeo Giulia for just $379 a month. Alfa Romeo Stuart, located 3980 Southeast Federal Highway in Stuart, or online at alfaromeostuart.com. Luxury, legacy, Alfa Romeo Stuart. MSRP $40,640, rear wheel drive, 36-month lease. Total due at signing, $5,179. No security deposit plus tax, title, and license with approved credit. Ends March 31st, 2020. It's time for the news desk with Bonnie and the headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. We have the latest on coronavirus for Martin County, and according to authorities, there are no confirmed cases of the virus in Martin County, and officials say they're developing a drive-through test at the Cleveland Clinic Martin North. The tests are only for those experiencing symptoms, so residents, you can call 772-419-3360 before getting tested. And the city of Fort Pierce, committed to protecting the health and well-being of their citizens and visitors, they have some postponements and cancellations. It looks like the Sunrise Theater for the Performing Arts and Black Box, all events there have been postponed or canceled through April 3. And Sandy Shoes Seafood and Brew has been postponed. Cancellations include Friday Fest, St. Patrick's Day on 2nd Street, Jazz on Moores Creek, the Jazz Market, the Wednesday Green Market, Dancing in the Streets, Waterside Blues, Fool's Day 5K, Manatee Center 5K, and Restoring the Village Diabetes Walk also. And we have some schools too, with schools being out through March 27 in our area. The schools are still to serve some meals during the coronavirus break. And for Martin County, the meals will be available from 9:30 a.m. to noon, March 23 to March 27, and being served at these locations: J.D. Parker Elementary School, Port Salerno Elementary School, and the Warfield Elementary School in Indiantown. Also, the St. Lucie County locations. And this is for people, you got to have your children in the car age 18 and under when you come. But for St. Lucie Public Schools, the meals will be served from 11 a.m. to 1 starting today through Friday, and being served at Chester A. Moore Elementary, Northport K-8 on Floresta Drive, Treasure Coast High School on Darwin Boulevard. And child nutrition services managers from across the district will be there serving these up. The number of coronavirus cases in Florida continues to rise. The Department of Health is reporting that statewide, 149 people have tested positive for coronavirus. 4 patients have died. Governor Ron DeSantis says that his administration is working with Memorial Healthcare System in Broward County to set up a drive-through system where certain people can be tested for free.
Who are elderly, that have symptoms, that have an underlying medical condition. We want to have the easiest way possible for them to test, and then if need be to get treatment or to self-isolate.
Finally, the U.S. Department of State advises U.S. citizens to reconsider travel abroad due to the global impact of COVID-19. Many areas throughout the world are now experiencing COVID-19 outbreaks and taking action that may limit traveler mobility, including quarantines and border restrictions. Even countries, jurisdictions, or areas where cases have not been reported may restrict travel without notice. And if you want to find out more about COVID-19, you can contact Joint Information Center for the state of Florida. Here's the number. It's 850-815-4940. Well, in sports, and when the father of Utah Jazz star Donovan Mitchell tested negative for the coronavirus, it was a sign of relief to the New York Mets. Donovan Mitchell Sr. is a fixture and around the Mets clubhouse in his job as the team's director of player relations and community outreach. The younger Mitchell confirmed Thursday he tested positive for the virus after Jazz teammate Rudy Gobert became the first NBA player to test positive, with Gobert's result prompting the league to suspend the season. Well, the elder Mitchell was tested Thursday and it came back negative. The Mets made this announcement on Friday. Our news time is 6:50 and we'll have weather and traffic together next.
.652, the time of the Get Up and Go show. It's time for traffic and weather together, brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
There's no accidents to report for this Monday morning, so if you're traveling, the US 1 is looking fine. The major highways are looking clear right now. There's your latest look at traffic. Nice and cool this morning, too. It's 63 in Port St. Lucie and Stewart. We have 65. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, some patchy fog is possible during your morning commute, so please give yourself a little extra time. This afternoon, mostly to partly sunny with high temperatures in the low to mid 80s and a light breeze out of the east. Rain chances remain low with only a few showers possible.
The Get Up and Go Show would love to hear from you live on the air. Give them a call at any time, 772-220-WSTU. That's 772-220-9788. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go Show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
6:56 on the Get Up and Go Show. And Bonnie, I've got a couple of astounding facts that I'd love to share with you this morning. In the 6 o'clock hour, did you know that 65% of dads refuse to allow their kids to touch the thermostat in the home? Are you aware of that?
I would think that more moms would, maybe more of the moms would do.
I was
that
not
sort of
allowed
thing.
to touch my thermostat at the house.
Yeah.
Nah, that was like I got my butt beat if I did that.
I'm thinking like of a mom that might be going through menopause. It's like you're not gonna make it any warmer in here, Sonny.
Okay.
Don't be touching that thermostat.
All right.
I want it cool.
Did you know that a survey reveals that Mondays are the most popular day of the week to snack?
Because people need that comforting food.
How about that?
Yeah, it's probably the most stressful day to get up and go like we do.
Did you know that relationship coaches say that 1 in 5 couples now come to therapy to deal with their in-laws? Their in-laws. I don't go to therapy to deal with my father-in-law because I love my father-in-law.
Maybe you
I
would,
think he's awesome.
maybe if you were like Ray Romano and the in-laws were living right next door,
Right.
or I guess I should say Ray Romano's wife. What's her name in that show? The in-laws anyway drive her crazy.
Now, here's an interesting stat. Did you know that 29% of men have borrowed deodorant from their girlfriend? Has Gary ever borrowed deodorant from you?
It's no secret that he has.
He has. Oh boy, he's got issues. Wow.
Well, it's secret though, Evan.
I know it's a secret, and you just divulged your secret.
Yeah. I mean, haven't you ever borrowed deodorant?
No, absolutely not.
And she's never borrowed it from you?
I don't know. I don't know if she ever has.
But desperate times take desperate measures. And
No.
when you're out of deodorant,
That is just so wrong.
I'd rather put his on than go to work with that stinky odor smell.
You have perfume at your house?
Yes.
Spray perfume on your armpit. Or if you're a guy, take a cologne bath.
We can't really put perfume on for being a massage therapist, though, because we don't want to stink up the room with that over perfumey smell.
Okay.
That others might be disgusted at.
But still,
but yet I don't want my armpits to smell like onions.
Speaking of onions, you just reminded me
Why
tomorrow.
Why did I bring that up?
Oh boy.
I don't know if I want to do this.
I have to put a note in my calendar.
I could go for an onion this morning, but tomorrow I might be nauseous when I do eat one.
If anybody's listening out there right now, and if you could bring us an onion to the studio,
oh good gosh,
she's going to eat the onion on the radio.
Make sure it's a red onion.
It's got to be a red onion.
A red
okay?
onion, yeah.
Bring us
Better.
a red onion. All right, and Bonnie will eat the onion raw on the air.
Not the entire onion.
No.
I might.
You're just going to bite into it like an apple.
I might, bring a knife in and just score off a little chunk of it and show you that I can eat it raw.
All right. We're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. Stick around. The news is coming up next, and more of the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie right after this. Don't go anywhere.
on the air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected with the Get Up and Go Show. And now here's your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
All right, out of bed.
What's that horrible noise?
What is that noise?
That is the sound of
Monday morning. Monday morning.
So it's another week already.
Wake yourself up. Boy, you're gonna have a rough day.
Okay, back to the old grind.
There's coffee in there.
Let's have a great day, everybody.
Whatever.
Let's get this show started.
What does the sound of Monday morning sound like to you, Bonnie?
It sounds like me.
What is it supposed to sound like?
It sounds like me waking up at 2 and not even getting any sleep between 2 and 4 a.m. That's
Okay.
what happened to me this morning.
You got up at 2 this morning?
2. I didn't get out of bed. I didn't bounce out of bed that early, but I was awake that early.
Didn't know you could bounce out of bed.
And couldn't get back to sleep. And so
Okay.
then about maybe 10 minutes to 4, I just didn't even wait.
Is that
for
why
the
you were here
alarm.
10 minutes early today?
I think
I
so.
know. I did take note of that. You normally walk in the door at 5:38.
Yeah.
Exactly, 5:38. But this morning, you walked in the door at 5:30,
Yeah.
which is 8 minutes early.
I had to say goodbye to my little babies, my little kitty cats, and they were at the door, watching me walk out. And
Okay.
they looked kind of sad.
Do they really?
They do when I leave.
Wow.
Yeah. They both, kind of like want to follow me outside. And I
Aw.
thought they both wanted to come to work with me this
Oh,
morning.
you could have brought Jack Frosty to work.
Yeah. And Hansi. I
Mhm.
mean, Hansi would be like sitting right here. He would be all over walking around on our papers.
Yeah.
He would probably want to fall asleep on your laptop.
That's fine. That
'Cause
works for me.
Every morning I do my show prep and I open that thing up. He's either on my papers or my laptop.
Okay.
He wants to just lay right there where I'm at with the action.
All right. So I have something I wanted to ask you, get your opinion on, and also maybe get Sheila's opinion as well, and anybody else that's listening. My almost 17-year-old brought the girlfriend home over the weekend.
Did you like her?
Oh, I did more than like her. She's sweet.
Oh,
She's a nice girl. She's a very nice girl. Okay. Brings her home, says, Dad, do you mind if I bring he calls her friend girl, because in teenager terminology, they're talking. That's the new thing. It's not like going steady or anything like that. They're just talking.
Yeah.
So he brings her home and they hang out, they watch a movie. Okay.
Yes.
They're in Gavin's room. Doors open, watching a movie. I'm cool with it. I'm the cool dad. So Gavin gives me a little bit of information, and he's, said they were hanging out in tradition, walking hand in hand.
Oh.
And he says, I can't say this on the radio because I don't want to embarrass him.
Okay.
I'll tell you off the air.
Okay.
Okay, I'll tell you off the air.
Yeah.
So anyway, then they come over again yesterday, and she was at the house from like 10:30 until I want to say 4:30, and they were just like two kids hanging out watching the Disney X channel in Gavin's room.
Swell.
Just, hanging out, laying on the bed, watching TV. Nothing going on at all whatsoever. I'm cool with it, but Mom is a little, she's a little on the fence.
Uh-huh.
A little on the fence. I'm okay with it. Okay.
So,
and then we introduce the dog to the girlfriend, the friend girl. Took the dog outside because I told you I have this dog that doesn't like anybody, and she's a canine. Well, she took to Gavin's girlfriend.
Oh, was wagging its tail?
Yeah. They were outside playing fetch the ball and all sorts of other stuff.
You didn't hear any kind of growl from the dog?
No,
Yeah.
nothing like that. No.
Well, that's a good sign
Yeah,
then.
that was a good sign. Because I think if Kaya approves, then everybody else has to approve.
It shows that this young lady is very friendly and attentive to animals.
Yeah,
then,
I mean,
too.
I'll show you a picture of her. Hold on, let me bring it up on my phone here.
I think I like the idea if they're 17 and
There you go.
She's over and you have that open door policy.
Pretty good looking girl.
Very, very pretty.
Right.
And you have a good looking boy too
But
there.
here's the situation. Gavin's 16. The girlfriend or the friend girl, she's 18.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Oh, he's dating the older girlfriend then.
Yeah. I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you good with that?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Age is a number.
I would be fine if they even went out on a date, like to a restaurant.
Oh, they go and do their thing. They went to lunch yesterday. They went to Tropical Smoothie.
Oh yeah, you said they were walking around tradition.
Yeah, they're walking around tradition, hanging out, holding hands.
Yeah, that's that's
typical boy girl stuff.
Going to be the course of nature. Yeah. And you remember back to when you were young and you started dating, and
I was a late bloomer.
Yeah.
I was like a nerd in high school. Honest, I'll be the first to tell you, the last to tell you. I was bullied in high school and everything. So I was a late bloomer. And I'm talking late, like 1920 late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait till we have that segment on Friday on bullying because it's such an important matter.
Yes. Dan and Rebecca Bird are going to be in studio with us for the whole 8 o'clock hour. They have a group that's called Speak Life, the musical. And it's a show that goes around and tours all over in the schools about anti-bullying, and it delivers a very, very powerful message. And they're going to be in studio with us for the entire hour on Friday, along with my son and a couple of the cast members.
Is the show coming up this Saturday then?
No, the show has been postponed because of all the events. The show is supposed to be this Wednesday. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The show is supposed to be next Wednesday at Christ Fellowship in Port St. Lucie.
Okay.
But with all the events going on, it's gotten postponed. But we're still going to have them in studio to talk about their organization.
I would love to come to the show when my stepkids are in town and be able to take them to the event.
There's not a dry eye in the house. I'm serious.
Yeah, I really want to go.
It's that powerful, Bonnie.
News on the radio. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Time for birthdays, anniversaries, and back in the day. And Bonnie, anybody you want to say something to that's listening?
Yes, to one of my interns from past ventures, Alex King. Young Alex King is celebrating today, so I want to say happy 26th birthday to Alex.
Wow, 26 to Alex.
Yeah, he had been an intern of mine one time, and a very friendly, a very nice, well-spoken young man.
All right.
And happy birthday to Brian Matson.
Oh.
Yep.
Where's Brian Matson at?
He is in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
Yep, with friends there.
Anybody else?
Greg Wallace.
Okay.
A boy from school.
All right. A boy.
Yeah.
Was it a sweetheart from school?
He was a friend of my sweetheart.
Oh, okay. All right. Anybody else?
That's all for today.
All right. Just checking. Want to make sure we got the list in.
And we have your big birthday coming up
yes,
tomorrow.
Yes, mine's tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day.
Yay.
And tomorrow I will reveal how old I am on the air. Okay, I will reveal how old I am on the air. I have made the statement.
Mm-hmm.
You're eating the onion, and I will reveal how old I am on the air.
Is that like dropping the toothpicks on the floor and guessing the number of toothpicks?
In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stick a candle in the onion. I'm going to blow out the candle, and then you're going to eat the onion for my birthday. You're going to take a bite out of it.
Gee, I hope I'm craving an onion tomorrow.
You better be.
I'm craving an onion a little bit more than I was on Friday.
I'll be craving birthday cake tomorrow.
I know. Put a little onion on a slice of birthday cake, maybe.
That'll work.
It might.
Terrell Jackson Williams, 23 years old today. That's Leo on Disney's Lab Rats. You remember that, right, Bonnie?
Disney's
that was a great show.
Lab Rats?
Lab Rats,
Was that my time or your time when we were kids?
That was our time. That was our time.
Isn't that a website for people over 50 and dating?
Hey.
Now? Our time.
Hey, now. Come on.
It is, I think.
You're not there yet. I'm beyond that.
I don't know.
Wolfgang Van Halen, 29 years old. That's the son of Eddie Van Halen and Valerie Bertinelli.
Yeah, and he's now the drummer for Van Halen.
Yes.
Yeah, he's drumming with them.
Well, actually, no, he's the current bassist.
Oh, current bassist.
He's the current bassist.
I'm
for
sorry.
Van. There's a difference between a bassist and a drummer.
Yeah,
One beats it and one Plucks it.
Oh, you know who I think I got him confused with? Phil Collins' son, because the son of Phil Collins is drumming for that up and coming tour of Genesis.
Yes, exactly.
But Phil is still touring. Phil's going to do the singing, but I think his son is doing the drumming for them.
Blake Griffin, 31 years old today, is a former LA Clipper and current Detroit Piston.
What? And how old is he today?
31 years old.
31. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see here. Alejandro. I hope I say that right. Alejandro Daddario, 34 years old. That's the brunette with the piercing blue eyes who plays Summer Quinn in the Baywatch movie Athena's Daughter and in Percy Jackson movies.
Oh, yeah.
Tim Kang, 47 years old today. That's Detective Katsumoto on Magnum PI.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
The new Magnum PI.
The new Magnum PI.
Yeah.
Alan Tudyk, 49 years old today. That's K2SO on Rogue One. You know who that is? That's from Star Wars.
From Star Wars,
yes,
yeah.
Yes.
I didn't go to see Rogue One, though. I came out to see the new Star Wars movie that was prior to that, where they introduced BB-8, the cute little robot.
All right. Laura Graham is 53 years old today from the Gilmore Girls. That's the Gilmore Girls' mom. Rodney Peete, 54. That's former NFL quarterback married to Holly Robinson Peete.
I see him every morning. They're on that weight loss commercial in the morning. They're cute together.
All right.
I like the Peets.
Bronn on Game of Thrones. Jerome Flynn is 57 years old today.
Ooh.
Todd McFarlane, 59. That's Spawn creator. Flava Flav. You know who that is? That's the guy that wears that big clock around his neck, and he walks around all day going, boy. You know who that is, right?
Yes.
He's 61.
Oh my gosh. I thought he was half that age.
Yeah.
Flava
Nancy
Flav.
Wilson, the blonde in Heart, she's 66.
One of the best voices ever, along with her sister Anne. Anne's voice is a little more powerful, but Nancy can play a mean guitar.
Yep.
66 today, huh?
Eric Estrada, 71 years old. That's Chips. Frank Poncherello from Chips.
Frank Poncherelli.
Every woman's heartthrob.
He wasn't mine, though. You know, I don't know what it is.
No?
I've never been that attracted to him. I mean, I can see why the ladies, I get it, you know, why they, but it's just, he hasn't, you know, some do it for you, some don't.
My question is, how tall was the building that they had to drop him off of to get into his police pants? Oh! Think about it.
Yeah.
Did you ever see how tight those things were?
They were pretty tight.
Wow.
And when he
put a quarter in the back pocket, you could read the date.
I know, but he needed some pants on to protect him from the hot engine on that motorbike.
Yeah.
Riding it through the streets
Definitely
of LA
so.
there, and it looked hot.
Victor Garber, 71 years old today. That's Dr. Martin Stein, the older half of Firestorm on DC's Legends of Tomorrow. And the game god himself, Chuck Woolery, 79 years old.
Really?
He always used to say, we'll be right back in 2 and 2.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, he had those like intense kind of eyes too on his game show. His eyes looked like they just kind of like always looked so fiery.
Did you know what 2 and 2 means?
No.
It means 2 minutes for the commercial.
And 2 seconds?
Plus 1 second and out and 1 second in. So you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Chuck Woolery, did he do he was on the Newlywed Show, right? The Newlyweds?
No, he didn't do the Newlywed Game. No. That was, I used to think
Bob
it was Dick
Eubanks.
Clark, but it was Bob Eubanks.
Eubanks. And
Yes.
oh yeah, I do get the two of them guys
Yes,
confused.
Bob Eubanks, yes. Celebrating a birthday in the heavens, Jerry Lewis used to host the telethons.
Yeah, amazing.
James Madison, former president. Henry Youngman, King of One Liars. And did you know that today is National Corn Dog Day?
It is.
National Corn Dog Day.
I think you know where you can get a good corn dog is down here on Sonic.
In my freezer.
Sonic I pass by there and I see that sign up says they're selling corn dogs once in a while.
There's a great hot dog place. It's just down the road from here.
Frankenstein?
Yes.
Yeah.
I ate there months ago.
They're amazing.
I was pretty impressed.
Now, if you want a good
little
dog,
pricey.
But I'm telling you,
it was worth it.
It's good. I know that's one of the first places I visited when I came to town. Frankenstein.
See, we're on the same wavelength. 7:21 right now. It's news time, brought to you by Discovery Senior Living. Bonnie's sitting at the news desk with the headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. And the number of coronavirus cases in Florida continues to rise. The Department of Health is reporting that statewide, 149 people have tested positive for coronavirus. 4 patients have died. Governor Ron DeSantis says that his administration is working with Memorial Healthcare System in Broward County to set up a drive-through system where certain people can be tested for free.
Folks who are elderly, that have symptoms, that have an underlying medical condition. We want to have the easiest way possible for them to test, and then if need be, to get treatment or to self-isolate.
Officials in Martin County gave an update on their coronavirus efforts Saturday afternoon. According to authorities, there are no confirmed cases of the virus in Martin County. Officials say they're developing a drive-through test at the Cleveland Clinic, Martin North. The tests are only for those experiencing symptoms, and residents have to call 772-419-3360 before getting tested. And our area schools are serving meals during the coronavirus break. The Martin County School District, they're going to have meals available starting March 23 through March 27. They're going to run 9:30 a.m. to noon. And here are the locations where you can bring your children under 18 to receive the meals. Going to be at J.D. Parker Elementary School, 10th Street in Stewart, Port Salerno Elementary School, that's on Lionel Terrace and Stewart, and also Warfield Elementary School in Indiantown. And for St. Lucie County, they are going to start serving student meals today, running through Friday. The meals being served 11 to 1 today. And the following locations: Chester A. Moore Elementary in Fort Pierce, at the Northport K-8 on Floresta Drive in Port St. Lucie, Treasure Coast High School serving up the meals at Darwin Boulevard. Child Nutrition Services managers from across the district will be there and serving up the hot meals. Well, Florida drivers are beginning to find gas prices below $2 a gallon in many markets. According to AAA, 11% of Florida filling stations have sub-$2 gasoline. That number is expected to rise in the coming days. AAA says the drop at the pumps is due to the combination of the coronavirus and the ongoing price war between Saudi Arabia and Russia. Well, the first participant in a clinical trial for a vaccine to protect against the new coronavirus will receive an experimental dose on Monday, according to a government official. The National Institutes of Health is funding the trial, which is taking place at the Kaiser Permanente Washington Health Research Institute in Seattle. Public health officials say it will take a year to 18 months to fully validate any potential vaccine. Testing will begin with 45 young, healthy volunteers with different doses of shots co-developed by NIH and Moderna Incorporated. There's no chance participants could get infected from the shots because they don't contain the virus itself. The goal is purely to check that the vaccines show no worrisome side effects, setting the stage for larger tests. Dozens of research groups around the world are racing to create a vaccine as COVID-19 cases continue to grow. It's 7:25, our news time now. Well, the big story from the NFL in sports, the NFL owners and players have agreed to a new collective bargaining agreement, which will run through at least 2030, and there will be some significant changes to the schedule. The biggest one is that players have agreed to expand the regular season from 16 to 17 games as early as 2021, although it might not happen until 2022. Technically, the players have just given the owners the option to do it, but it'll happen. The owners have been pushing hard for a longer season. And when the father of Utah Jazz star Donovan Mitchell tested negative for the coronavirus, it it was a sigh of relief to the New York Mets. Donovan Mitchell Sr. is a fixture and around the Mets clubhouse. It's his job as the team's director of player relations and community outreach. The younger Mitchell confirmed Thursday he tested positive for the virus after Jazz teammate Rudy Gobert became the first NBA player to test positive, with Gobert's result prompting the league to suspend the season. Well, the elder Mitchell was tested Thursday, and it comes back negative. And the Mets announced this on Friday night. Our news time is 7:26. Weather and traffic together next.
$7:27 right now, the Get Up and Go show. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
We don't have any accidents to report. This is including I-95 and throughout Martin County, St. Lucie County. The Turnpike picture is clear right now, too. There's your latest look at traffic. It's 65 in Palm City, 63 degrees in Port St. Lucie, and here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, some patchy fog is possible during your morning commute, so please give yourself a little extra time. This afternoon, mostly to partly sunny with high temperatures in the low to mid 80s and a light breeze out of the east. Rain chances remain low with only a few showers possible.
Let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
Something die in his room? Oh, I don't mean that in a bad way. It's like a good stink. It's like a good, musky, kind of want to get to know you stink.
Hey, Bonnie, something die here in this room or what, huh? Something dying here?
I don't smell anything unusual.
Nah. I took a shower, did you? Nothing died, right?
I take 2 showers a day, Evan.
2?
Yeah.
I sometimes take 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you go to work 4 times in your schedule?
No.
Okay, so you're not getting up and going that often.
No.
I take a shower twice a day, like in between my jobs.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
That's a very, very good thing.
And I always have plenty of soap product, and I love the Olay. The Olay body wash is my favorite.
Okay.
It makes you smell so good in the morning.
Well, you know what my favorite thing to do right now is?
Some stupid news.
Oh, yeah. Got my banjo out. I'm picking away. How am I doing?
You're playing pretty good there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's taking me right over. It takes me to the bayou.
Right?
The bayou this morning.
Where's Jed Clampett at when you need him?
That's right. He's
And
in Beverly Hills.
Ellie Mae. And what were the other cast members?
Max Baer.
Yeah, Max Baer.
You can't forget. And his dad was, I think his dad was the prize fighter that the movie Cinderella Man is based
Okay.
about. That's a good fighting movie.
I've got some good stupid news this
Okay.
morning. Boy, these are some good ones. This is somewhat older than originally reported by media, primarily in Indonesia and other East Asian countries back in 2018. It got a lot of attention because it touched on a very taboo topic: the romantic relationship between an adult male teacher and a 13-year-old schoolgirl. Erwin Pangalia was 27 when he fell in love with a junior high school student in Indonesia. In fact, it was 13-year-old Vinda Virginia who first noticed and approached him, the teacher. She happened to walk by his classroom, saw him writing on the blackboard, and immediately fell for his broad shoulders and athletic physique. She wasn't the only girl in school to have a crush on the teacher, but she was determined to be the one that won his heart. She started staying behind after class to ask him questions, and eventually their student-teacher relationship turned into a very romantic one.
Wow. Yeah. Voodoo. Did you ever have a crush on a teacher, Evan?
Nope. Not at all.
You were never hot for teacher?
The teachers, when I went to high school, you wouldn't want to date. My elementary school teacher, her name was Mrs. Lipschitz.
Really?
I kid you not.
I think I've heard of that last name before.
Mrs. Lipschitz.
Isn't there a Lipschitz around here?
I don't know.
I've heard of that name.
But Mrs. Lipschitz wore red lipstick and had that big black pomfoo hairdo.
Yeah.
Like Marge Simpson.
Some people might think that's hot.
Oof. No, sorry, that's
Was
not
it?
hot. No.
She didn't do anything for you?
No, she did nothing for me.
I had a crush on a teacher one time, but I'm not going to reveal which one in case somebody who might know me might be listening. I don't want to reveal it.
A group of young motoring enthusiasts from Vietnam have found success on the internet by making drivable cardboard replicas of expensive sports cars and motorcycles.
A cardboard replica?
Too poor to buy their own Ferrari sports car or Ducati motorcycle. Well, so the young guys behind the NHET TV YouTube channel, but they're resourceful enough to build their own using scrap metal, used cardboard, and motorbike parts.
I want to see a picture of these.
The vehicles turned out rather goofy looking, but they actually worked.
That's cool. God bless them for it. If they can be that creative and that motivated to do a replica, I certainly want to see a picture of these.
They actually worked. Earlier we were talking about toilet paper. Well, we're going to go to Australia, where a visitor to a campground in Australia captured video of a different type of toilet paper shortage. A kangaroo raiding rolls from the bathroom.
Really?
The filmer
Oh my gosh.
said they had been traveling the country in a camper with their family for a year, and they were stopped this week at the Wilpena Pound campground in South Australia. The video shows a kangaroo inside the campground's restroom eating toilet paper from the bathroom stall.
That sounds like something you'd see in a cartoon, like a cartoon character of this big kangaroo. And that just sounds, wow, that's amazing.
Maybe word of the coronavirus has spread this far into the arid center of their country. Willapina Pound is about 6 hours from the South Australian coast. It's pretty dry, dusty, and fly blown out here, and the kangaroos have become tame from interacting with tourists.
Wow.
The filmer said the family talked to the campground managers and learned they are planning to put up a fence next month to keep the kangaroos from raiding the toilet paper.
You hear about those cheap people in the news that buy the toilet paper and then they rip the 2-ply apart to create 2 rolls.
Yes.
Now might really be a good time for that.
Tell your relatives when they come into town, when they bring their own toilet paper, advise them to do that.
Okay.
All right.
I might start doing that as soon as it arrives. I'm just going to break it apart and start breaking it. Make sure we have enough to tidy us over.
Seniors at a Massachusetts college held a fomencement ceremony.
Fomencement,
not commencement, fomencement, complete with garbage bag gowns and yarn tassels to replace their likely canceled graduation ceremony. The Allen College of Engineering, which is finishing its semester online due to the coronavirus fears, is likely to hold in-person graduation ceremonies in late spring, leading students and faculty to come together Thursday for the fomencement celebration.
So they're dressing in these what
garbage bags.
Garbage bag gowns.
Garbage bag gowns.
So the garbage bags to kind of like keep the germs out or something?
Yes.
That's,
fomencement.
That's pretty genius too, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, desperate times take desperate measures. So you got to do what you got to do, right, Evan?
George just wrote us that they're using corn cobs because you cannot find a single roll of toilet paper anywhere.
Corn cobs.
Corn cobs.
That would work.
I don't want to envision that.
I mean, especially after that corn is eaten off the cob.
I don't want to.
Because it would be like your
Bonnie, don't go there.
A little bit of wash involved.
Sheila, who's listening, is probably falling off the chair right now.
My goodness.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go find some corn on the cob tonight.
No, I'll bring that in also. I'll add that to my list along with the onion. A San Francisco career resource company is offering an unusual dream job of its own. Getting paid $1,000 to spend St. Patrick's Day watching Irish movies. Zippia announced on its website that it's seeking an aspiring movie critic to spend St. Paddy's Day watching 10 Irish movies. This should only take about 17 hours and 23 minutes, leaving you plenty of time to go out and celebrate with your friends afterwards. The winning applicant will be required to write a 1,000-word summary of what they learned about Irish culture for the movie marathon. The temporary movie critic will also receive a corned beef and cabbage meal for 4.
That sounds nice.
A box of Lucky Charms, a McDonald's gift certificate card equal to worth about 4 large Shamrock Shakes, and a U2 album of their choice, in addition to the $1,000.
You know what movie might be part of that collection is State of Grace. Watch State of Grace. That's a good Irish movie. I like Irish movies with the sounds of those bagpipes too.
Yeah.
That just gets you right in the mood, right in the spirit, doesn't it?
My wife and I talked about this yesterday at home. Life or death situations bring out the best in people and also the worst. And people who look at crises as an opportunity for price gouging definitely fall into the worst category. So there's something very karmic about seeing a person getting absolutely screwed while trying to profit off a crisis. There's a guy named Matt Colvin in Hickson, Tennessee. And when he saw coronavirus causing panic, overseas last month. This guy drives all over Tennessee and buys 18,000 bottles of hand sanitizer. Then he tries to sell them for $70 each on Amazon. After he sells about 300 bottles, Amazon noticed his extremely high markups, and it turns out those violated their seller policy against price gouging. They kicked him off the site, and now the guy is stuck with 17,700 bottles of hand sanitizer. And suddenly, he's found a conscience after all this, and he says, quote, he's exploring ways to donate the supplies.
I was just going to say, I hope he came to his senses and is just giving that sanitizer away by now.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is going to shock you what I'm about to tell you, but former President Barack Obama is in the news for stupid news. You have any idea?
Don't tell me he forgot to wash his hands
No.
or something like that.
Twitter went into a meltdown after savvy social media users appeared to have noticed that porn star Sarah J had a very powerful follower. Sarah, who's 42, has 1.1 million followers on Twitter. And one of them is apparently former U.S. President Barack Obama.
Wow. Just how pretty is this? What's her name?
She's not pretty.
Oh, I thought she would be like dead drop gorgeous
No.
and stuff.
The porn star, who also runs a porn production company, began trending on Twitter when people wondered why they discovered her famous fan. Why does former President Obama follow her? Asked one Twitter user.
Mrs. Obama might want to know that.
While another added, finding out that President Obama follows Sarah J is exactly what the world needed today. Obama, who's 58, follows more than 608,000 accounts from people of all walks of life. But Twitter users rushed to assume the president followed her because he enjoyed her on-screen talents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even even Jimmy Carter back in the day, Evan, admitted to liking some of the talents.
Oh boy.
And had an eye for the ladies.
Yeah.
But you're only human.
True. This is true.
Yeah.
And if the president wants to follow her, so be it. As long as Michelle's okay with it.
Done deal.
Done deal. My fellow Americans. Oh, boy. Let's go to Walmart.
Okay.
Where stupid news is happening. And it's stupid and dangerous anytime, but it's especially bad when anxious people are making emergency grocery runs to prepare for a nationwide lockdown. On Saturday night, a man in a hazmat suit ran into Walmart in Las Vegas and started spraying stuff with an unknown liquid. When he left, someone followed him and got his license tag number. The cops quickly tracked him down and they arrested him. Walmart was evacuated, but a total of 13 people still came in contact with the substance he sprayed. Fortunately, no one showed any symptoms after being exposed to it. Police say they're working on figuring out what the substance was and why the guy sprayed it.
We didn't see anything that wild when we visited Walmart this weekend. Did you see any wild action out there?
No, I did not.
Yeah. Oh, the biggest thing with spraying that we saw, well, we visited Hokkaido restaurant over the weekend.
Right.
And Ram was our chef.
Yeah, the only thing he was spraying was sake all over the table in everybody's mouth.
He was spraying sake into everybody's mouth, into Gary's mouth. He even had some himself. And he took this bottle of what we thought was sake.
And he squeezed it.
He squeezed it, and
and I know it's a gimmick bottle.
We thought, I looked at the spray almost going all over Gary's shirt.
And it was just
And it was like
string.
something that he pulled back on the string.
Yep. They do that all the time.
He did like a magic
They
show.
they can't do that to me. They can't fool me because I'm a regular there.
I know. Oh, and then he was throwing spatulas around.
Oh yeah, they do the spatulas.
And I thought,
did they throw part of the egg in the air and you have to catch it in your mouth?
Yeah.
Did you?
I did. I tried, but I didn't catch it in my mouth. But we thought the spatula was going to hit this one lady right in the head.
Knock
and then
some
he
sense
quickly
into her.
pulled it back.
Knock some sense into her.
Yeah. He was amazing. The best chef that we've had,
All
that
right.
we've seen with hibachi.
All right. It's time now for news brought to you by the all-new Maserati Stewart, where you can spring into savings with the rich heritage of Italian motoring that is now within reach. At the all-new Maserati Stewart, get a new 2019 Levante for just $799 a month or 0% financing. Maserati Stewart, located 3980 Southeast Federal Highway in Stewart, or online, MaseratiStewart.com. Luxury Legacy, Maserati Stewart. MSRP $79,000, all-wheel drive 39-month lease, $8,999 due at signing, plus tax, title, license. No security deposit with approved credit. See dealer for details. Offer ends April the 2nd. It's time to head over to the news desk where Bonnie has the latest headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning. The number of coronavirus cases in Florida continues to rise. The Department of Health is reporting that statewide 149 people have tested positive for coronavirus. 4 patients have died. Governor Ron DeSantis says that his administration is working with Memorial Healthcare System in Broward County to set up a drive-through system where certain people can be tested for free.
Folks who are elderly, that have symptoms, that have an underlying medical condition, we want to have the easiest way possible for them to test, and then if need be to get treatment or to self-isolate.
According to authorities in Martin County, there are no confirmed cases of the virus in Martin County. Officials say they're developing a drive-through test at the Cleveland Clinic Martin North. The tests are only for those experiencing symptoms. Residents have to call 772-419-3360 before getting tested. And schools are serving up some meals starting today. The St. Lucie Public Schools Child Nutrition Services will be serving meals in the community from 11 this morning till 1 this afternoon, today through Friday, at these schools, including Chester A. Moore Elementary, Northport K-8 on Floresta Drive, Port St. Lucie, the Treasure Coast High School on Darwin Boulevard. Child Nutrition Services managers from across the district will be staffing the open locations. Meals will be prepped, bagged, and brought to the bus loop area. And that's going to allow for parents to drive through and pick up meals for their children. Meals will be provided to children in the car 18 years of age and younger, and children must be present in the car to receive the meals. And also in Martin County, the school lunches will be served up starting March 23 to March 27 from 9:30 to noon. And these locations include J.D. Parker Elementary School, Port Salerno Elementary School, and Warfield Elementary School in Indiantown. Well, the city of Fort Pierce is committed to protecting and, the health and well-being of their citizens and visitors. At this time, there are no confirmed cases of the coronavirus in Fort Pierce. However, for preventative measures and to reduce the transmission and spread of the coronavirus, some things are being canceled and postponed. So the postponements for Fort Pierce include the Sunrise Theater and the Black Box. They postponed or canceled all of their performances through April 3. And canceled, of course, the St. Patrick's Day on 2nd Street, Jazz on Morse Creek, Friday Fest. The Downtown Farmers Market has been canceled. Jazz Market, Wednesday Green Market. Dancing in the Streets, Restoring the Village Diabetes Walk, the Manatee Center 5K, the Fool's Day 5K, and Waterside Blues. There is no change in essential city services as they adapt to the recommendations and restrictions due to the coronavirus. Their citizens are encouraged to take advantage of online services at cityoffortpierce.com. And our news time right now is 7:50. Well, Christian Wood of the Detroit Pistons is the third NBA player to test positive for the coronavirus. In other NBA news, 19-year-old Pelicans rookie Zion Williams says he'll pay the salaries of all employees at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans for the next 30 days. And Rudy Gobert of the Utah Jazz is kicking money in for his team's employees, too. The big story from NFL, the owners and players have agreed to a new collective bargaining agreement that's going to run through at least 2030, and there's going to be some significant changes. The biggest one is that the players have agreed to expand the regular season from 16 to 17 games as early as 2021, although it might not happen till 2022. News time is 7:51. Weather and traffic together coming up.
$7:52 the time, the Get Up and Go show. It's time for traffic and weather together, brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Right now on our roadways throughout Martin County, Evan, we're not seeing any traffic accidents to report right here. Traffic looking fine for US 1, major highways included. There's your latest look at traffic. In Port St. Lucie now it's 63. It's 66 degrees in Stewart. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, some patchy fog is possible during your morning commute, so please give yourself a little extra time. This afternoon, mostly to partly sunny with high temperatures in the low to mid 80s and a light breeze out of the east. Rain chances remain low with only a few showers possible.
let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we are proud to announce America's most talented, most beautiful, most exciting, most glamorous superstar.
There's a touch of madness around here.
Well, I know they're not talking about me, so they have to be talking about you. The most talented, glamorous superstar. That was what the announcer said.
I thought they were talking about you now,
No,
Evan.
not me. I'm not glamorous, and I'm not talented.
But you will be.
You're glamorous.
You're going to be the superstar of tomorrow.
No.
Because it's your birthday tomorrow.
No. It's just another day. Just another day in paradise.
It is another day in
paradise. To take
paradise.
a line from Phil Collins' song, Another Day in Paradise.
And we should feel very thankful that we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely so.
I can't wait till the weather gets even warmer. I'm going to head out to the beach afterward sometime during this broadcast.
All right. Let's see who's on the air with us. Good morning. Who's this?
Your wife.
Oh, it's the wife.
Good morning.
Right before we're ready to go into the news, 50 seconds to go.
You're a superstar every day.
Aw. All right.
He's your superstar, right, Rachel?
That's right.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. I can only wait for tomorrow.
I know.
It's just another day. She asked me what I wanted for dinner. I'm like, I don't care. It's just another day.
You going to have corned beef and cabbage tomorrow?
Nope. Actually, you know what? That's not a bad idea.
I don't know how to make that.
It's really simple. Just go to the deli and buy some sliced corned beef. I got to run. We're up against the news. I love you and have a great day.
You can crock pot it all day.
All right.
Rachel.
We're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up next. And then the final hour of the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. Don't go anywhere.
On the air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected with the Get Up and Go Show. And now here's your host, Evan and Bonnie.
It's Monday. What? It's Monday already?
Good morning. How are you?
How are you? Good morning.
I'm calling in sick.
I'm calling it sick.
Are you sick?
Too much football?
You drink too much beer. Too much junk food. You're sick? No, I'm all right.
You know what it is? I just need a me day.
Suck it up. Suck it up. Suck it up, Buttercup.
We've got work to do.
It's showtime.
In our line of work, you cannot call in sick because the public depends on us. Right, Bonnie?
They do depend on us, but we, when we are sick, though, Evan, we have to call in sick. I would call in sick.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't want to come in and affect you
No.
and pass any kind of virus onto you and your family.
You know what I do?
What's that?
I have a portable screen I would put up right across.
Ah.
You stay on your side of the fence.
Mm-hmm.
I stay on my side of the fence.
But there would be other people to follow me on my side of the fence, too, like
That's
if I were
why
sick.
they
so-
have that spray bottle of Clorox in the studio.
Yeah, but I think the commonsensical thing would be to stay at home so we do not spread
Who has
anything.
common sense these days? Nobody does. My gosh.
Not when all the toilet paper is gone.
So here's what I want to do in this segment. Okay. I want to play a round of yes or BS with you, but I want to also invite somebody to call in. Okay. To play yes or BS.
Ooh, it's a challenge.
It's a challenge. So it's going to be Bonnie against one of our listeners. Okay. And if we can get two people to call in, it'll be Bonnie against two of our listeners. Okay. So Sheila, if you're listening, we'd love to have you call in, or Frank, or anybody that's listening. 220-9788. We're going to play a round of yes or BS.
Maybe Deb is listening too. Pittsburgh,
Maybe Pittsburgh Deb is listening
Yeah.
as well. So if anybody is listening this morning, which I'm sure they are, but some people don't want to play into our antics as well. That's why they won't call. But 220-9788 is the number to call in to play yes or BS with Bonnie and two of our listeners, if that's possible.
Are they going to win anything? Do we have anything exciting maybe to give?
I can't, because then they have to come here to pick it up, and we have to do that whole social distancing thing.
Oh, so we're going to do that
so
too.
it's just for fun.
We're going to do that like everybody else is throughout May or something
Well,
like
it's
that.
just for fun.
Yeah.
We're just going to play the game for fun.
Yeah, because maybe like you're right, Evan, maybe like a lot of people are at home today because of this coronavirus.
Exactly.
And I just feel bad for the people who might be laid off of work or, if those kind of conditions. I'm pretty much thankful this Monday morning that we're here and we can actually be here at work,
It's
you
all
and
right.
I.
It's all right.
So yeah, if you're at home listening, maybe you want to call in and have a little bit of fun.
Yeah,
with
we'll have
that
some
matter.
fun on the radio. Yes or BS. In the meantime, I'm going to start off with you, Bonnie.
I might just let them win too, because maybe to make their day brighter.
Okay. Oh, but
I'll let you win.
how can you let them win? Because you have to give me an answer.
I know.
All right.
Okay, I'll give the wrong answer then.
All right. So here's question number 1. We'll start with you, and then we'll wait and see if somebody calls.
Okay.
The first time anybody saw Betty White on TV, she appeared in a TV refrigerator ad playing a 3-inch tall pixie named Happy Hot Point. Is it yes or is it BS?
What year was it?
There's no year.
Betty White?
The first time anybody saw Betty White on TV, she appeared in a TV refrigerator ad playing a 3-inch tall pixie named Happy Hot Point.
I think Betty White was born before there were TV or before there was TV and ads.
Okay.
So I'm going to say that's BS.
Correct. It was actually Mary Tyler Moore.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's the first time I've heard of that.
See how simple that is, folks? If you're listening, you just answer a question. All right, question number 2. The average human nose can detect around 4,000 odors. Yes or BS?
4,000
4,000 odors.
odors?
Yes or BS?
Yes.
Yes? Correct. Some perfume employees They're professional sniffers. They can detect 10,000 odors. How about that one?
Yeah. I'm a professional sniffer too when I go into
Are
the
you?
stores and I sniff candles.
Okay.
I just I can't stop myself when I go in. I have to smell and then I get addicted to it. Like, oh, what does this one smell like? Oh, this one, and I go on and on.
So that classifies you as a professional sniffer?
I guess so. I guess so, doesn't it?
Okay. It wasn't until World War I that specific left and right shoes were made. Yes or BS?
Until World War I, I'm going to say yes.
Yes.
I think they had some shoe rationing.
They were first made during the Civil War.
The Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
All right. Marilyn Monroe was the first ever Gerber baby model. Yes or BS?
BS.
Correct. President James Garfield was ambidextrous and could write with both hands simultaneously.
James Garfield?
Yes, at the same time. He could write with both hands simultaneously.
There's a possibility that somebody could do that. I'm going to go with a yes.
Correct.
But wouldn't you be awestruck to see somebody do that?
I would thought I had too much to drink. The South Pole is actually considered to be a desert environment.
A desert environment.
Yes. Yes or BS?
The South Pole.
South Pole.
Not the whole South Pole.
The
I'm
South
I'm
Pole-
going to say BS.
It gets about the same amount of rainfall each year as the Sahara Desert.
Sahara Desert.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
All right. Ozzie Newsome was the first tight end inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Ozzie Newsome?
Ozzie Newsome.
Ozzie, yes. I've heard that name before. Yes.
Yes or BS?
Yes.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
It was Mike Ditka.
Really?
Mike Ditka, yes.
Mike Ditka?
Yes.
No kidding.
First tight end inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. The best-selling album in the world is the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack. Yes or BS? Think real hard on this one.
The best-selling album in the world,
In the world.
I think, is BS. BS.
It's
No,
Thriller from Michael Jackson.
I thought you were going to guess. Let me guess that one, and I was going to
No.
guess Dark Side of the Moon,
No,
Pink Floyd.
it's Thriller by Michael Jackson.
Makes sense. Okay.
The rotating lawn sprinkler was invented about the time of the birth of Christ.
The rotating lawn sprinkler.
The rotating lawn sprinkler was invented about the time of the birth of Christ.
A lawn sprinkler sounds nice, revolving with water and the birth of Christ. Possibly, I'm going to say yes.
Correct. While over 70% of the earth is covered in water, only 1% of that water is drinkable.
I would hate to say yes to that. I want to say keep positive and say that's BS, Evan. That is true.
It is yes.
That's that's
Yes.
despicable.
Yes.
Read that again.
While 70% of the earth is covered in water, only 1% of that water is drinkable.
That's just despicable.
Yes.
Don't you? And it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Hard to believe.
Don Knotts was originally offered the role of Archie Bunker in the famous TV hit All in the Family.
Don Knotts, BS.
Correct, but Mickey Rooney was.
Okay, now that I could believe.
Okay. Bart Starr threw the first pass in the very first Super Bowl,
Yes.
and it was to Max McGee for 37 yards.
If I didn't know that one, Packers fans up north would be
Very upset with you.
they would be knocking themselves over the
Yes.
head.
When Alfred Hitchcock was filming his classic movie Psycho, he bought up as many copies of the book as he could to help keep the ending a secret.
Yes, I bet he would do that.
And it wasn't that hard, because the book wasn't exactly a bestseller. Hitchcock bought the rights to it for a mere $9,000.
That reminds me of when, like up in Wisconsin, there was this free newspaper. It was called Forever Free, and I think it was called City Pages or something like that. So you could get it free anywhere. So there was a article in this newspaper about a scummy landlord.
Okay.
You know what landlord did?
What?
He went around town hoarding up all of the City Pages, loading them into his car, into his trunk, so nobody else could read it.
Wow.
True story.
Okay. 1 in every 11 Americans has stolen something to get exactly what they want.
Yes.
Correct. Nestle's Toll House cookies were named for the hotel where they were created.
Yes, that is true.
It's in Whitman, Massachusetts.
I would love to visit that hotel.
Of the 5 Great Lakes, only Lake Superior is the only one that lies completely in the United States.
BS. Because Lake
It's
Superior,
Lake Michigan.
Lake Superior touches Canada.
Yes,
I
it's
had
Lake
to think about that
Michigan.
one.
Although we see a man on the moon, the Chinese think they can see an ox.
An ox.
An ox.
I'm going to say yes.
They think they can see a rabbit.
Okay.
All right. Statistics show that Monday is the most dangerous day to drive an automobile.
Yes.
It's Saturday.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah, because everybody's out drinking,
okay.
partying. It's the weekend.
I thought I read somewhere before that it was Monday. I'm
Nope.
wrong. Okay.
Nope. The largest fruit crop on Earth is grapes.
Grapes, the largest
Fruit crop
fruit
on
crop.
Earth is grapes.
It's probably yes.
Correct. All right. And lastly, the average American eats 1,889 Tootsie Rolls in their entire lifetime. That's 1,889 Tootsie Rolls in their entire lifetime.
I hate Tootsie Rolls, and I'm not any part of it. However, I'm going to say yes, it's probably true.
Correct.
I hate Tootsie Rolls, and I hate licorice, Evan.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry to be such a sourpuss about that, but
that's okay.
I'm not a big fan of the Tootsie Roll.
That's perfectly fine. Do you like Rolos?
Not really.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm addicted to those.
Are you?
Rolos are awesome.
I should bring some in then for your birthday tomorrow.
I would eat a whole tube. I would eat
a
a whole tube of Rolos on the air.
You would?
Not a bag, but just a tube.
Can you still find Rolos out on the shelves?
Yeah, just go to your local like 7-Eleven, Wawa, or somewhere.
Okay.
Or even Publix.
I remember those, but I wasn't even aware that they sold Rolos.
But if you go to Publix, you have to go before 8 o'clock at night.
I hear that.
That's right. They're closing at 8 o'clock at night now.
Is that to
so
every
is Walmart?
Publix?
Walmart's closing at 11.
Oh yeah, usually they're open around the clock.
You know why they're doing
overnight.
that? You know why they're doing that, right?
Yeah.
So they can restock the shelves
and clean
and sanitize and clean.
Do a lot of sanitizing, and I think it's really nice that they're doing that because it's just a really important thing.
Exactly. 8:20 news time right now. All brought to you by Discovery Senior Living. And Bonnie has the morning headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning to you, Evan. The number of coronavirus cases in Florida continues to rise. The Department of Health is reporting that statewide, 149 people have tested positive for coronavirus. 4 patients have died. Governor Ron DeSantis says that his administration is working with Memorial Healthcare System in Broward County to set up a drive-through system where certain people can be tested for free.
Folks who are elderly, that have symptoms, that have an underlying medical condition. We want to have the easiest way possible for them to test, and then if need be, to get treatment or to self-isolate.
Here in Martin County, authorities are saying there are no confirmed cases of the virus, and officials say they're developing a drive-through test right here at the Cleveland Clinic, Martin North. Those tests are only for those experiencing symptoms, and residents, you can call 772-419-3360 before getting tested. And St. Lucie Public Schools Child Nutrition Services are serving up meals for the students this morning from 11 to 1. And this going on through Friday at these schools in St. Lucie County: Chester A. Moore Elementary, Northport K on Floresta Drive in Port St. Lucie, Treasure Coast High School at Darwin Boulevard. And child nutrition service managers from across the district will be there staffing the open locations once again, already starting this morning, going on 11 to 1. And in Martin County, the free meals for students are going to begin on March 23 through March 27, 9:30 to noon at these locations: J.D. Parker Elementary School, Port Salerno Elementary School, and the Warfield Elementary School in Indiantown. Chick-fil-A announced Sunday night it's going to be closing its dining room seating in all restaurants across the nation over coronavirus concerns. Chick-fil-A will sell signature sauces at Florida grocery stores. The company said the move is only temporary and would take different forms at different locations. Some of the restaurants may only offer service through the drive-thrus, while others may be able to offer takeout, delivery, or mobile order options. The company said these changes will help limit person-to-person contact. And the Florida Department of Health has announced that a 77-year-old patient from Lee County who was diagnosed with coronavirus has died. This is the fourth death of a coronavirus patient from Florida. According to officials, this case wasn't travel-related. 3 more cases of coronavirus in Palm Beach County were positively confirmed Friday, among 25 new ones in the state, the Florida Department of Health announced just after midnight Saturday. Of the cases, 18 are associated with South Florida, 9 in Broward County, and 6 in Miami-Dade County. No cases have been confirmed in Indian River, Martin, Okeechobee, and St. Lucie counties. The Florida Department of Health announced early Saturday the third death was a 68-year-old Orange County, Florida woman who died in California. She tested positive in California after traveling to Asia. In all, 75 cases have been linked to the state, including 67 Florida residents diagnosed in Florida. 11 new cases are travel-related, including 3 domestic. 13 are unclear, and 1 is not related to travel. The NFL owners and players, they've agreed to a new collective bargaining agreement, which will run through at least 2030, and there will be some significant changes to the schedule. The biggest one being is that the players have agreed to expand the regular season from 16 to 70 games. As 70 games, did I just say? I know Evan's saying, come on, Bonnie, this isn't baseball, this is football. To 17 games for which will run through at least as early as 2021, although it might not happen until 2022. And in baseball, now, when the father of Utah Jazz star Donovan Mitchell tested negative for the coronavirus, it was a sigh of relief for the New York Mets. Donovan Mitchell Sr. is a fixture and in and around the Mets clubhouse. In his job as the team's director of player relations and community outreach, the younger Mitchell confirmed Thursday he tested positive for the virus after Jazz teammate Rudy Gobert became the first NBA player to test positive, with Gobert's result prompting the league to suspend the season. Well, the elder Mitchell was tested Thursday, and it came back negative. The Mets announced this on Friday evening. News time is 8:25. We'll have weather and traffic together next.
8:27 the time of the Get Up and Go show. It's time for Traffic and Weather Together, brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, in St. Lucie County, there's an accident on the Turnpike. This is northbound in Port St. Lucie at Crosstown Parkway. From this accident, we're not experiencing any traffic backup. You should be getting through at the moment. Here in Martin County, it's a nice ride. No accidents. There's your latest look at traffic. It's 64 in Port St. Lucie and Stewart, 66 degrees. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, some patchy fog is possible during your morning commute, so please give yourself a little extra time. This afternoon, mostly to partly sunny with high temperatures in the low to mid 80s and a light breeze out of the east. Rain chances remain low with only a few showers possible.
The Get Up and Go Show would love to hear from you live on the air. Give them a call at any time, 772-220-WSTU. That's 772-220-9788. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go Show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
$8:33 the time right now, the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for our daily dose of space in the place with the one and only gentleman that's outstanding in his own field, on his own planet. And I say gentleman with a capital G as in great, because he's greatness because of his vast knowledge of space. Here's Randy Siegel.
I appreciate that. You're calling me spacey. Okay. But that's all right. I can handle it. Well, this date in history. Back in 1966, we almost lost Neil Armstrong and David Scott. Yep. The astronauts were launched in a Gemini spacecraft and performed a docking with an Agena target vehicle in space to show that we could dock the vehicles together. And Dave Scott was going to perform 2.5 hours worth of a spacewalk. However, the Agena started rotating, and the whole spacecraft started rotating in a really wild vibration way, and the astronauts were nearly lost in space. It was only Neil Armstrong's cool hand that was able to release the Agena, and the astronauts were able to come back down to Earth safely. The whole mission duration was 10 hours and 41 minutes instead of 3 days that originally was planned. But it was quite a wild ride, to say the least. And on this date in history, in 1975, the Mariner 10 spacecraft went by Mercury for the third time, exploring Mercury and giving us a lot of data from that planet. Well, in a rather unusual but really cool sense, Andrew Morgan, aboard the International Space Station, gave the oath of office to new recruits for the U.S. Army. Yep, Morgan, who's aboard the International Space Station, held a swearing-in ceremony with more than 1,000 U.S. Army recruits stationed in more than 150 stations in all states. The event was the first nationwide swearing-in ceremony held from space. Yesterday, we had an almost liftoff, if you will, of the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket carrying 60 Starlink satellites. The countdown reached 0. The engine motors started and then abruptly shut down. Elon Musk said that there was an out-of-family data that they didn't like. In other words, something was wrong. And as a result of that, the spacecraft was saved as well as the satellites. Now, SpaceX, if they get complete approval from the range, says that they may be launching on Wednesday at 8:21 a.m. So there's a possibility we might be able to carry that launch live for you. The weather forecast shows an 80% chance of acceptable conditions for launch on Wednesday morning, with scattered clouds, light easterly winds, and a temperature of around 70 degrees Fahrenheit. The primary weather concern is with cumulus clouds, or the big heavy clouds that you can't see through. NASA's Orion spacecraft, which will eventually take us to the moon and perhaps beyond, has been shipped back to the Cape after completing sonic testing at Ohio's facility in Plumbrook in Sandusky, Ohio. The Glenn Research Center completed environmental testing of the Orion spacecraft that will fly the Artemis 1 mission next year. It's Artemis 1 that will have the Space Launch System taking the full measure of launch and showing that they'll be able to get our astronauts back to the moon. The big question is, will the vehicle be ready? And will we be able to launch it on time? Rocket Lab's next mission to launch a satellite will not only launch satellites for NASA, but will also launch it for the National Reconnaissance Office and the University of New South Wales. The launch will take place from Rocket Lab's launch complex on New Zealand's Bahia Peninsula, with a 14-day launch window scheduled to open on the 27th of the month. Rocket Labs is anxious to show that they can launch small satellites on a regular basis and become a lead player in the small satellite launch business. Zero G, that's a corporation that flies a Boeing 727 on parabolas going up to just the right height, then coming back down towards Earth, giving the interior about 34 seconds of snus, says that they want to expand what they're doing and provide services throughout the United States. They say that this research will help scientists better prepare them for launching satellites and people into space. I've had the pleasure of going on one of these zero-G flights, and I've got to tell you, 34 seconds of weightlessness is amazing because you really learn how the astronauts feel when they first get aboard a space station. The inner ear plays a little bit of havoc sometimes. In some people, it causes a lot of distress, and they can't handle it. So it's very interesting that they want to expand this and get more research out of it. Russia's plan to launch with the Europeans the ExoMars mission to Mars is being delayed from 2020 to 2022. And the reason for the delay has nothing to do with the Proton rocket. The reason for delay is because they're having problems with the vehicle itself and the parachute system. Until they get that settled, we're earthbound with this particular mission. Russia is also starting to create a new set of vehicles that will carry man and cargo into space. They intend to modify their Soyuz and Progress vehicles and base them on a new vehicle called the Eagle. It's similar to one where you have Progress currently, which is a variant of the Soyuz spacecraft that carries humans. Well, Russia is doing the same thing in order to better utilize the design of the vehicles. According to sources, the Angora rocket is planned to lift the new spacecrafts into orbit. About 900 citizens in Russia have filed applications to qualify for cosmonaut training. According to the head of Russia's State Space Corporation, Roscosmos, Dmitry Rogozin, he said that the hope is that out of this 900, they will get a dozen or so individuals who will begin training to become new astronauts. Roscosmos expects more women to be part of this campaign and bring them into the cosmonaut corps. Currently, there's only one woman in that grouping. Russia is also saying that the swap of crews on the next spacecraft headed for the International Space Station on April 9th will not cause any delays. American Chris Cassidy, along with Russian cosmonauts Anatoly Ivanushin and Ivan Wagner, have passed their final exams and were approved for flying their mission. The astronauts who had a problem because one of them hurt their eye had to back out. Ivanushin and Wagner were assigned to the mission in February. And Nikolai Tikhonov and Andrei Botkin were taken off because of the medical issue with the eye. Since crews are pretty much trained for psychologically how they would work with other individuals, the decision to replace both Russians is optimal for that type of mission. The European Space Agency's head, Director General John Wagner, announced that he will not be asking for an additional term once his expires in middle of 2021. He has been a long-time head of the European Space Agency. This comes on the heels where Canadian Space Agency President Sylvain, I have a hard time pronouncing it, Laporte, said that he will not seek a second term as head of the Canadian Space Agency. So we're going to see several changes taking place. Laporte was appointed by the president of the Canadian Space Agency on February 27th. He would have served the second longest tenure as leader of the agency, behind only William Matt Evans. Russia is also saying that they expect that they'll be able to link up the information coming back from Mars with existing spacecrafts that are already in orbit. This is something that was expected and will continue. Tomorrow we're going to tell you about a new company testing an engine, and that NASA says the gateway to the moon is not necessary. So until tomorrow, have a great day, everybody.
That's your daily dose of space from Randy Siegel right here on the Get Up and Go show. We do that every single Monday through Friday at around 8:30 p.m. And now it's time to head on over to Ellie's Downtown Deli, where Bonnie is standing by with the latest and greatest tidbits to sweeten your palate. Right, Bonnie?
Absolutely, Evan. And tomorrow being St. Patrick's Day, Chef Mark wants me to tell everyone to place your order in for some of that corn, beef, and cabbage. Just think you could pick some of that corned beef and cabbage up at Ellie's Deli, bring it home for the family for dinner tomorrow night.
I might.
So call Chef Mark at 772-781-6605.
Okay.
And of course, since you're going to eat all of that tomorrow, maybe you want something cool, refreshing, and light for today. Try one of the signature salads. It's a cran-apple crunch salad. Comes on a bed of mixed greens and topped with craisins, sliced apples, toasted almonds, oven gold turkey, and crumbled blue cheese. Signature salads are served with your choice of a homemade dressing, and Chef Mark even makes the croutons homemade fresh at Ellie's Deli. And go there at 18 Southeast 6th Street in Stewart. They're just off of Colorado Avenue for Ellie's Deli.
It's now time for the Precious Metals Report, all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Gold is opening up at $1,456.50 an ounce, and silver is opening up at $12.43 an ounce. It's time now for news brought to you by Alfa Romeo Stewart, where the rich heritage of Italian motoring is now within reach during the Spring Acceleration event. At the all-new Alfa Romeo Stewart, get a new 2020 Alfa Romeo Giulia for just $379 a month. Alfa Romeo Stewart, located 3980 Southeast Federal Highway in Stewart, or online at alfaromeostewart.com. Luxury Legacy Alfa Romeo Stewart. MSRP $40,640, rear-wheel drive, 36-month lease. Total due at signing $51.79. No security deposit plus tax, title, and license with approved credit. Ends March 31st, 2020. Let's go over to the news desk where Bonnie has the headlines this morning. Morning, Bonnie.
And good morning. The number of coronavirus cases in Florida continues to rise. The Department of Health is reporting that statewide 149 people have tested positive for coronavirus. 4 patients have died. Governor Ron DeSantis says that his administration is working with Memorial Healthcare System in Broward County to set up a drive-through system where certain people can be tested for free.
folks who are elderly that have symptoms, that have an underlying medical condition. We want to have the easiest way possible for them to test, and then if need be to get treatment or to self-isolate.
In Martin County, according to authorities, there are no confirmed cases of the virus. Officials say they're developing a drive-through test at Cleveland Clinic, Martin North. The tests are only for those experiencing symptoms. And residents have to call 772-419-3360 before getting tested. In St. Lucie Public Schools today, we'll have child nutrition services. They're serving meals for students from 11 to 1 already starting this morning, and this runs through Friday. And the schools to attend will be Chester A. Moore Elementary in Fort Pierce, North Port K, Floresta Drive in Port St. Lucie. Go to the Treasure Coast High School, Darwin Boulevard in Port St. Lucie. And the child nutrition service managers from across the district will be staffing the open locations. Now in Martin County, expect the meals to be served coming up the dates of March 23 through March 27. And meals will be served for ages 18 and under at these locations, including J.D. Parker Elementary School, Port Salerno Elementary School, and Warfield Elementary School, Indiantown. The first participant in a clinical trial for a vaccine to protect against the new coronavirus will receive an experimental dose on Monday, according to a government official. The National Institutes of Health is funding the trial, which is taking place at the Kaiser Permanente Washington Health Research Institute in Seattle. Public health officials say it will take a year to 18 months to fully validate any potential vaccine. Testing will begin with 45 young, healthy volunteers with different doses of shots co-developed by NIH and Moderna Incorporated. There's no chance that participants could get infected from the shots because they don't contain the virus itself. The goal is purely to check that the vaccines show no worrisome side effects, setting the stage for larger tests. Dozens of research groups around the world are racing to create a vaccine as COVID-19 cases continue to grow. Well, in the sports world, Christian Wood of the Detroit Pistons is the third NBA player to test positive for the coronavirus. In other NBA news, 19-year-old Pelicans rookie Zion Williamson says he'll pay the salaries of all employees at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans for the next 30 days. And Rudy Gobert of the Utah Jazz, too, is stepping up to the plate. He's kicking money in for his team's employees, too. And the NFL owners and players have agreed to a new collective bargaining agreement that runs through at least 2030, and there will be some significant changes to the schedule. The biggest one is that the players have agreed to expand the regular season from 16 to 17 games as early as 2021, although it might not happen until 2022. 8:51 is our time, and we'll have weather and traffic together next.
8:52 the time, the Get Up and Go show. It's time for Traffic and Weather Together, brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, there is an accident on the Turnpike northbound in Port St. Lucie at mile marker 145. This is northbound at Crosstown Parkway, and there's not any roadblocks showing. You should be able to get through. And Martin County, not seeing any accidents or slowdowns. There's your latest look at traffic. It's a partly sunny sky, really turning into a beautiful morning. 67 in Port St. Lucie. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, some patchy fog is possible during your morning commute, so please give yourself a little extra time. This afternoon, mostly to partly sunny with high temperatures in the low to mid 80s and a light breeze out of the east. Rain chances remain low with only a few showers possible.
Welcome back to Martin County's Heritage Radio Station, WSTU, AM 1450. Now back to the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie.
I'm beginning to like this. You're crazy.
8:56 the time, the Get Up and Go show. And Bonnie, where the heck is the time gone this morning?
I don't know, but it sure flies when we're having fun.
Wow.
And we hope that you're having fun. You as the listener, we appreciate you.
I hope that we lightened your load today. I really do. Because with all this negativity, we try to bring a little bit of positivity.
Yeah. Did you find yourself kind of like trying to avoid the news a little bit over the weekend because it's so overkill?
I did. Every time I turned the channel, either the governor was on or somebody was on. And, I just had enough. And I just clicked through and started watching other things on TV. And, it's just depressing. I mean, people want to take a gun to their head and just boom, end it just like that.
A lot of people in the sports world are so depressed because they didn't have their sports on too this weekend and using the movies as an alternate.
Yeah, I found myself really bored yesterday because we were supposed to have a game at the stadium and, stadium's on lockdown. And I didn't know what to do with myself.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at home and I'm so bored. I went set up by the pool for about an hour and tried to take a nap and, just all fidgety. And finally I went in the house and I said, I'm just going to go to the gas station, fill up the car with gas, because gas was like, I pulled in, it was $1.99 a gallon. And then right before I started pumping it, it ticked over to $1.98 a gallon.
How nice.
So it went down by a penny.
Yeah.
So I filled up my gas tank, and then I really didn't want to go home, not because I didn't want to go home to my wife, but I just didn't want to go home and be depressed with all this negative news. So I went in Sam's, and I walked around Sam's for like an hour and a half. Just walked around and just kind of took everything in and watching people do their thing. And it's just really amazing to watch all these people that are panicking over this coronavirus. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, I'm worried about it, but at the same time, I'm not going to just work myself up and get upset, because stress is the number one thing that kills people.
You know what made me really happy this weekend?
Hokkaido.
Is my plant and Hokkaido. Yes. Ram at Hokkaido. Thank you very much. And the plant that Deb bought me. It's out in the sunshine right now. I watered one plant. It's getting some sunshine.
I'm sure all that sake you consumed.
And it's smiling.
I'm sure all the sake that you and Gary consumed really made you happy. Yeah.
It sure did.
You were a happy camper.
Yeah.
Well, folks, tomorrow it's the big birthday show. That's right. It's my birthday tomorrow, so it's going to be extra special. Bonnie's going to suck down an onion. And what else? An onion and something else.
Ooh,
you said, right?
Made my eyes go crossed just now.
Anyway, folks, have a great day. We're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. We'll be back tomorrow for the St. Patrick's Day edition and my birthday show. Bye-bye for now.